Microphone test. It's better than the rest. Microphone. Feel like I moved to the wrong spot. Let me fix this. Meow, meow, meow. Chill playlist is too chill. Wait, aren't you playing? Play. Play. There we go. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah, let's get it started. Ripley, I think I'm in the right place. Over here. There we go. And yeah, roll the intro. Be a stage hill. Meow, 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 meow. All right, it worked. And the music's still playing. Excellent. All right, I have 0 ideas. I just ran some errands and finished my work like 5 minutes ago. And then thought I'm still gonna do a live stream. So I guess I'll still do a live stream. Who are you talking to right now? There's literally, it says, like, at the end of the screen, it says 0 people are watching right now. You were talking to nobody, and you're just enjoying that. You're just enjoying talking to nobody, and that's okay. I mean, you're here. Why can't you be the thing that I'm talking to while we figure out an idea of what, to draw today? I mean, we all know the answer is me. You're going to draw me, and then probably a picture of you, but sometimes you don't include you, but there's always got to be me. I mean, so just start drawing me, and then think of ideas from there. As long as I'm in the center of the universe, then everything will revolve around that accordingly, because, I am the center of the universe. I mean, you're not wrong. Should we go with 2 panels? With just reuse the deal. Two panel jam. Grab it from this one. Where are the boxes? Boxes. Yep. And you'll do some sort of 2 panel strip, and that'll be acceptable and easier to come up with a super simple idea. It's only 2 drawings, and everything's fine. If we could go to the drawing screen, there we go. So we'll start with the 2 panels, and then there we go. Grab the title layer. Wait, well, the computer takes forever to resave, even though I did not ask it to. Title, placeholder area. then we just enjoy the music a bit. I don't even give a spit. Oh. And then we draw a Milo. Where's my layer for the roughs? That's the guide and the roughs, and they're both the same, really. So we'll put it down here and we'll see what we can come up with. I don't know. The idea I really want to do is just you meeting the new king. I'm going to put that in quotation marks. Where are you? I'm going to point here. And I don't know. It's just too much just pointless dialogue, and it's dumb, and I don't want to give him any more spotlight than he already has. But I like the idea of him being like, I'm King Charles now, and then you just being like, oh, well, good job, King Prince Charles, where it's like you just always jam the word prince in there. But I feel like that would require just multiple panels of just repeatedly going back and forth between you and King Prince Charles. And then, of course, I would also have to draw a picture of King Charles, which, gross. I mean, gross. He's like the opposite of a skeleton man. What if you have like 12 panels? Yes, all getting uglier in each panel, and then the cat being more annoying. Something, 14 panels, 25 panels. You're literally no help at all, Skeletor. Absolutely no help at all. Unlike me, because, I'm the most helpful. Because, again, if you just start by drawing me, and then we'll just figure out what goes with me after the fact. I think that's what we should do. So let's do that. I mean, I know that's what I'm going to do. You know that's what I'm going to do. And all of the Zero people out there know that's what I'm going to do. Maybe my internet didn't connect? No, it says I'm connected. Then we zoom in. And think. And then we think. So I still have to come up with some sort of pose, some kind of blocking. Put you somewhere. Somewhere inside the panel. That's where we'll draw our friend. Sketch out some circles and we'll think. That's all I can think of is that stupid king of and his dumb gold hat. All right, maybe we'll go a nonsense political cartoon without any real research or knowing what we're doing. I mean, obviously, if you didn't immediately come up with an idea, other than just doing what you were doing at work 5 minutes ago and transitioning that into a comic strip, there's really nowhere else to go. I mean, if you really think about it, it's the only avenue for which you could travel down while you try to adjust the volume. Whilst I continue to talk, and then will you be able to go back? Yes, everything's fine. Everything's fine. So regardless, we'll start drawing a picture of you. Where are you? And then I don't know. I think I also like the idea of just making fun of the fact that it's just like, wow, is it a test? Is it a test that the king is just like, look at me? I'm just going out into with my most ridiculous outfit on, just gold-plated, solid gold, everything, big silly hat, wearing just stuff on top of stuff, like I don't know, an old lady that just raided the brooch store, and then everybody's supposed to be like, hey, now look at me like this, and then still respect me as your king. That's the test. And I don't know, it's got to be getting harder and harder to look at that guy as anything more than a giant weird baby that, people dress and run a bath for and whatnot. How dare you? How dare you sit there and make fun of a gold-plated man who's, like the richest guy in the world because he doesn't have to pay taxes on any of his riches because he's in charge of who pays their taxes or not or something like that. So he's the luckiest boy. You're just mad because you're not the luckiest boy. I mean, that's usually what I'm mad at. When it's gonna be somebody normal person's turn to be the luckiest boy. Oh man. Always the basic same drawing of Milo. 'Cause I don't have an idea or a direction to go. What if you're peeking in to the frame? Where you're like, hey, Prince Weirdo. We'll just say that stuff that I just said. Meow, 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 meow. No, that's no fair. Ripley thinks all of your ideas are good. Ripley's stupid, you're stupid. Whatever my idea is, even though I haven't had one yet, other than making me the center of the universe, what if I am the king and then the King Charles guy is like, hey, excuse me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I also had a Stone of Destiny, so I get to take your job because my Stone of Destiny was bigger than your Stone of Destiny, because that's apparently a real thing. That's apparently a real thing. Hey, before we have a coronation for this head of state, head of whatever he's supposed to be the head of, we got to go down to the catacombs and get out the Stone of Destiny and, have it around for when we do this guy's whole destiny thing, as if it's what's the microphone here? Oh, I know the name of it. As if it's an Arkenstone. That's right. I remembered. As if it's the Arkenstone that gives I don't know the names of any of the dwarves in The Hobbit, but that gives what's his face, guy who's not Gimli, the power to be the king of the mountain. Doesn't seem to have any real magical properties other than, hey, just hold on to this and then you're the king of the mountain. That's stupid. Those movies were stupid. Not the Lord of the Rings, of course. Those are still amazing and endearing and fun. But The Hobbit... definitely 2 whole extra movies that are unnecessary, and 1,000 super rich celebrities getting to play all of the background character parts because they love Lord of the Rings. What could you be holding? What could you be holding in your other hand? We should go with some tea, right? That would make the most sense. A little bit. Excuse me. Oh, and the robots have started again. All of the, back, there we go. Almost started to choke to death. On my own words and rage. I got well, I've had several different things, but I got a comment and a message from somebody there. I think it was just on the, I'm going to do a live stream post. I'm going to look for a picture of King Stupid Face. That was like, hey, I happened to find your artwork on the internet or whatever. And it's just like, why are you saying you found it somewhere? Like, you're on Instagram, you're explaining in Instagram, like, sorry to bother you and blah, blah, blah. But I'm a purchaser of art, and I would like to purchase your art as NFTs. Like, please get in contact with me, and I will purchase some of your delightful artwork as NFTs. Like, what? So of course, I have to go and click on click on the person, see their account, just to see how much of a fake robot person they are. And, with this big stupid crown, even though I'm just gonna... Oh wait, what was the other one? Looking at pictures of the king, and all the sadness it'll bring, while he's spending all your money, and all the taxes of Canada too. All the nations... Oh, that's the end. That's the end of that particular rhyming nonsense. God, what a hideous, hideous chud. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, CHUD. I'll just put this one up on the screen as some reference for myself. That should do. That should do. I'm not going for a perfect likeness. But anyway, so I clicked on this person's, this bot, whatever, account, just to see, like, what are you doing over here? And of course, it's an Instagram account. It's following 5 people, or 3 or 4 people. And it has 5,000 followers. It's like, how do you have 5,000 followers and you only have 6 posts? Like, only in the world where just bot following a million things. And of those 6 pieces of art, the first one is clearly like just some sort of fake Bored Ape NFT picture that is awful, which, I mean, they all are anyway. And one is like just like a crayon drawing by like a child of a minion, and some other ones that are like somewhere between that's acceptable as art and that is unacceptable garbage. But the picture of the person, it's like I should have just found the account again, but it's just like this old lady. I have a post. It's in the yard. It's made in damn it. It's made of wood and it has no followers. I read that as it has flowers for the first 5 times I read that in my head. I'm so bad at reading. But the picture is clearly like just some nice old lady or a cranky old lady that they stole the picture from. Where she's like, this is clear. This lady is not buying artwork for NFTs. Everything about this account is 1,000% just an art farming account. It's such a weird shaped head. Let's triangle it out a little more. And then, of course, all the other ones, like, it'll go a few weeks where it's just like I can post something and it doesn't say, like, oh my god, you should share this on artlovers.art. I'm just like, that's not a thing. Go away. Why do you always all only have 6 posts? Just be better people. Or be real people. Just be people. The need for speed, which is what it is, has gotten way out of hand. The need for everybody to just be like, we need to create everything. It's so fast. People's attention spans are too slow, so we just need to make all the things. It's like, no, it's okay. It's okay to just make things. It's like, no, you humans you're too slow. You're too slow, humans. Those miniatures take too long to make, Susan. They take too long to make. You need to get a robot to design them, and then another robot to print them out, and then and you're putting them on lunchboxes and shipping them out. We're not thinking about why. We're just thinking about whether or not we can. Ian Malcolm. That's the worst referencing of that movie I've ever seen. I was actually thinking it was something else as I started it, that I'm like, oh yeah, this is the Ian Malcolm growing too big too fast thing. But anyway, just a whole bunch of robots out there trying make more stuff than is necessary. I did not, Mini Technicus. That was Clyde. And then he was laid off. But the Friday Streamlabs stream is kind of the funnest part of the week, making stuff for people. And super happy you did enjoy it, but I did not make that one. That was oh no, it's totally fine. That was the magic of Clyde's 3D building. But that is how I still spend my Fridays. Last few Fridays I've been doing emotes, which is always super fun. And yes, we had this conversation, I think possibly on the Streamlabs thing. No problem whatsoever. Making a big crown for the king of the town. He's a weirdo. This song has words. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. Weird Inspector Gadget here. Did everybody see the poster or the ad for Oppenheimer that I genuinely thought was a poster for another, or at least something? I thought it was like an AI, one of those AI movies, AI things, where somebody's just making a reboot of fake Inspector Gadget movie, but it's not. It's a multi-million-dollar, like $300 million Christopher Nolan movie. It's just like, oh, I kept thinking, it's like, what is even that movie about? Like, oh, it's just about, like, making the atomic bomb and stuff. Like, for all the people to make a movie like that, it just seems like not a Christopher Nolan movie. But, man, oh man, really nice Inspector Gadget poster, though. Like, kind of made me think, like, we kind of do need a good Inspector Gadget movie. Like, those last two were unwatchable trash. Eyebrows. His little eyes. And then 10,000 wrinkles, 'cause he's 10,000 years old. Well, there's a guy, speaking of, I recognize that face, Mini Technicus. There was a guy I've definitely seen more than a few times, like at the grocery store and here and there around town. And then, I want to say a few weeks ago, which is probably like months ago now, I saw this guy again, but then I stopped in that thing where, that little bit of whatever time stoppage where you're trying to decide, like, do I know this person? Should I wave or should I keep walking? Oh my god, how long have I been staring at them? Have I been just staring at them? Oh, this is getting awkward. I should just turn and leave, or at least still give a head nod and walk away. And I was staring at this person, and I still was like, I know this person, right? Oh, I've looked too long. And then I was just like, oh, I'll give them a head nod as if I was just kind of looking off in some direction. And then when I got home, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I do know who that was, but I don't think they live in Truro. It would be weird for them to just be at the grocery store here in Truro. This music has too many words. Next. So yeah, then I went home and went to Instagram just to see. It was like, I think that might have been Paul. Is that Paul? Is that what Paul looks like now? It still looked like Paul, but was it Paul? Because we've all gotten quite a bit older. I haven't really seen Paul in real life, I don't think, in, about 10 or more years. Yeah, probably more. And, so I found Paul's Instagram and was like scrolling through it past all the drawings and whatnot. And I was like, hey, there he is. That's the guy I just stared at and then walked away from. And now I'm just like waiting to like, all right, if he is in town, I have to make sure to definitely go, oh, hey, it is you. Because I think he maybe I'm off scot-free and he didn't recognize me anyway. And everything's fine. But part of the reason I stared so long was that he stared back in a way where it's just like, do I know you? And I'm just like, or does he recognize me, but I can't recognize him? And I think I basically just ran away. But then I did my research and realized, yes, I was in fact being a jerk. Alright, I'm just going to copy and paste him anyway. Oh, and corrections from last week. Everything you said is always wrong, and then just go back and do your own research because this guy is always wrong and everything you say is stupid. No, one thing. Maybe more than one thing, but one thing specifically was wrong. So just one thing that you remember, and anything outside of that is just like, hey, that's your problem, guys. You go deal with that. This guy is basically just, talking out of his butt from beginning to end. There's no need to really put any faith into anything that he says. So last week or the week before, or last week I had a headache because the power went out. So the power's out alarm was going off all night long. So I spent the rest of the day just being like, I need to go to sleep, but my head hurts. But the week before, how many cats do I have? Including Ripley and Milo? Meow, 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 meow. What about Ted? Ted's also on the wall. Don't forget about Ted. Hey, bros. You guys talking cats? We over here counting cats over here? Because so far I'm counting 3. And, we could probably easily make some more. Hey, Skeletor guy. Mr. Skeleton Man. Do you have any cat ears you could put on? Just for the fun of, being a cat for a day? Yeah, I guess I could perhaps put on some skeleton ears. No, that's not cool. There's just the 3 of us, and that's how it rolls. So yeah, including all of those cats, 0 is how many cats I have. Absolutely 0. But 2 of those cats are based on real cats that used to exist in my life, and Ted does still exist, but he is several provinces away at the home of Drake and Avocado Shake, who used to hang out here in the stream, but schedules have changed, and the pandemic is quote unquote over, so back to work they go. But yeah, out of all of these fake cats, technically Ted is the only real cat. Hey, but what's really real, man? Everything's kind of real, and everything's kind of just made up. So what makes us not real cats? Do we not have voices and adorable little glasses? Because I've got little glasses, and I feel like that makes me good and real. I don't understand a word you ever say, Ted, but you're adorable, and you're very encouraging and positive. I've just the one cat. Fishy. Oh, Fishy's his name. I was like, it's quite fishy to only have one cat. Quite fishy indeed. Imagine that. She's black and white and kinda likes a fight with a dog. She doesn't care if he's got long hair or short. She'll take a swipe, he'll give a snort, and then maybe some blood. I was saying a thing about your live, all of the lies that you told last week. Yes, that's exactly what we were going to talk about. Yeah, last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago, I was talking about Taskmaster, because I'm always talking about Taskmaster, not the skeleton face Taskmaster, but the Greg Davies, Alex Horn show, or the Australian Taskmaster. Oh, I still got to pay my taxes. Australian Taskmaster or New Zealand Taskmaster. End of list. The rest are either languages that are too, or cultures and whatever that are just too beyond my comprehension to enjoy the show. But this latest season of Taskmaster that thankfully people are piratey enough to put new episodes up on YouTube, so I don't have to try to hunt the internet for them. What is with when they have the big tuftedness? Is it supposed to represent like spots on an animal, like on like their little crowns and their capes when it's like white and it has those little black dots on it, like we always used to draw on our Santa Clauses and whatnot? But anyway, I was going on about Taskmaster, and I rewatched the episode that made me think incorrectly. But I mentioned how somebody on the show is Canadian, and it wasn't until hours and hours later that I realized not only did the person that I say was Canadian, and I just assumed they were born in Canada and then moved to the UK, and that's why they have such a prominent UK British accent. And then I was like, without even rewatching the show, I was like, wait a second. Mae Martin, who I think is amazing. I don't know if I've ever really heard of them outside of Taskmaster. Clearly doesn't have a British accent. And it just did not occur to me until after talking about it on the stream how somebody is from Canada. But that episode that they bring up, they do say like, oh, somebody, something, something, and somebody who's from Canada. And then the next person they cut to when they say that is Jenny Eclair. So I just naturally assumed, oh, she's from Canada. And Mae Martin clearly is British. And that's their British accent, which they do not have. And I'm just like, for the rest of the week, like, it drove me crazy. I specifically sent a message to I could look it up, but yeah, I sent a message to Space Goonie right away to be like, oh my god. It's like, I can't even understand. I was like, I just realized that Mae doesn't have a British accent, and I've probably heard of her or heard of them as a Canadian entertainer. I'm gonna Mae, Martin, which is probably not how you spell it. Mae, Mar, Mae, Mar, and a Tin. That's you spell Mae Martin. They are 36 years old. Mae Pearl Martin is a Canadian comedian, actor, screenwriter. Martin wrote and starred the Netflix comedy series Feel Good and won 2 Canadian Comedy Awards. It says born and then apostrophe Toronto. It says they're from Toronto, which is more your neck of the woods, Pat. Doesn't specifically say that's where they are from, though. Okay, it says they're based in the UK now, though, according to IMDb. And that's as far into research land as I care to go. So yeah, still, that's just like 2 hours away. Practically here. Everything's pretty much the Maritimes. And I'm sure most of her family comes from close to here anyway. Who's from Toronto? Nobody. Never. Everybody goes there later in the day. What? That doesn't make any sense, and I don't care. We're just having some fun on the internet, air. Clean up line. 3? I have this fight with myself all the time. 2? It's so close. Might as well go with 2. So anyway, that broke my own brain. That I just somehow didn't read, like, how suggestible we are as creatures. Like when you think back to the children that you hung out with as a child and the weird things that they believed because, oh, well, so-and-so said this. So that is what's true. Move my window. Like, how and why would you believe that? It's just like, oh yeah. Because we believe adults for some reason. And then those same adults go out and buy several cases of beer and shoot at it with a gun or drive over it with a truck. And they think that the things that they're doing are reasonable. But they are not. But they speaking of things that aren't reasonable, this account that I don't follow, but it keeps popping up on my Twitter. So somebody else must be, or it's just like, yeah, we know the algorithm. We know you've stopped and read this more than a few times. It's kind of in the vein of the AITA. Am I the a-hole of Reddit? Which I stay away from Reddit like it's the actual plague. I stopped seeing a bunch of those. I think I usually just see them because Josh would repost them or like them or whatever. But there's this other person. I want to say, I think it's Ask Aubrey or Ask Audrey. One of those. Similar things. And they mostly focus on weird posts. I think they're usually just from Reddit anyway, where it's just like stupid dudes saying things and her just constantly saying like, this is why we need sex education, this is why we need basic education. I don't know where these dudes are getting any of this information. This is insane. I don't even think I do that much. Guy has weird eyebrows. Fluffy on the end. There we go. And the posts that she posts are never not just you know, when you read something or see something that just shuts down your brain, where you're like, it's not this possible to be this stupid, and you can't process it. You just can't process it. You know, the old way of taking down robots in old cartoons, where it's just like, hit them with a paradox, or, you know, ask them what love is. Like, yeah, it does not compute, human. It's just like, we're not programmed to be this stupid. But as we see the AI progress, it is. But one that just stuck in my head, it was just a few days ago. Maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. But it's just been festering in my brain. I've made no notes of things to talk about, but this is still there. Hey, try to give 5 more minutes of preamble before you say what the thing is. Let's try for 10 more minutes of preamble, and then say the thing that you want to say. That will be super annoying, right? Just as random and nonsensical, just go from side story to side story, and then say the one sentence thing that you're trying to say. Yes, hold them hostage at the end of your words, and then we'll trap them all in the cage, and then the ooze will come down, and dragons, and the monsters, and guys, no, I'm not trying to cause trouble, just trying to talk about nonsense from the internet. You guys are crazy. But it was, and it's always written from the perspective of like some dude like asking for advice. Something about it always reads to me as like, hey, I'm a 12-year-old. Why do girls do this? But then it's just like, you know, at my apartment, in my car, and whatever, and at my job, I'm just like, you're an adult? You're an adult person? And you have, so this one goes beyond just like, I'm too stupid to understand things, into the realms of, I'm a monster and I should be stopped. But dude says, hey, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna read it straight out. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna read it. How will I find it? I don't know. Oh, there we go. It's Ask Aubrey. Check. I'm just gonna scroll. I don't think it's too far back. No. I should have. I should have screen capped it or saved it when I saw it. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. That one seems familiar. Can't be too far now. No. Okay, maybe I really am gonna stall for 10 minutes. Okay, here we go. The subject line of this particular post is, "Why my girlfriend farts during peeing?" Question mark. Why my girlfriend farts during peeing. Hey guys, serious question. Super serious question over here. Serious question. Please answer honestly. I have been with my girlfriend for 4 months now, and she is really awesome, friendly, and even acts like a normal girl and does not hate and envy all men, which is hard to find nowadays. You know, hard to find somebody that doesn't, act like my misogyny is crazy. But that's not the crazy part. That's just normal. That's just normal for dudes on the internet. So it's hard to find nowadays. I love her from the bottom of my heart. But one thing I noticed is that she farts whenever she goes to pee. And she always, hey Scarlett. I was wondering who's gonna slide into the middle of this. Just reading a post from Ask Aubrey on Twitter, where dudes are posting stuff on Reddit and whatnot, and dudes are awful. So I'll go back to the beginning because it's too delightful and insane. Subject: why my girlfriend farts during peeing? Hey guys, serious question. Please answer honestly. I have been with my girlfriend for 4 months now, and she is really awesome, friendly, and even acts like a normal girl and does not hate and envy all men, which is hard to find nowadays, because all women hate and envy all men, apparently. I don't know. If you're not a jerk, I have friends that aren't men. Anyway, I love her to the bottom of my heart, but one thing I noticed is that she farts whenever she goes to pee, and she always puts on music. She always puts on music on the phone while on the bathroom. I did not correct that or say that wrong. That's how it's written. She puts on music on the phone while on the bathroom. Although I still hear because you guys, I have put a mobile microphone in the bathroom, and it is crazy. When she pees, it's like she has farts in her. Sorry. It's like she has farts in her from the whole week. Guys, what should I do? Should I tell her I find her? Should I tell her that I find it weird? And of course, I cannot help. Space Cody, you and Scarlet Solace dropping in at the weirdest possible time. So of course, I've got to drift through the comments to make sure we're all on the same page, right? Everybody in the comments is hating this person, and nobody's going, yeah, what is the deal with that when you put a secret microphone and or camera on the toilet and record your girlfriend who doesn't know about it, and she does something that you think is weird in her only private time available, and then you're just like, excuse me, I noticed that you used 3 squares of toilet paper instead of 4 when you wipe yourself, and I think that's weird. Like, what do you mean? But everybody in just full consensus in the comments is just like, regardless of everything that he said, like, 1, that's your private time. 2, yeah, people fart in the bathroom. Where else would you want her to go? But the main problem is, of course, what do you mean you put a mobile mic in the bathroom? Like, exactly, Susan. Exactly. What are you recording then, if not just the sounds of your girlfriend peeing? And of course, like, yeah, she already put music on to cover it. And so is it, I mean, Like, unless this is David Bowie or Prince or there's somebody else who does it. I think like a Jimmy Fallon or somebody. Like, there's a handful of people that, yes, they have the ability to record everywhere in their house if need be. Boop, I'm recording in case I think of a hit song because I'm Prince or whatever, and I'm also rich and crazy enough to do that. But if you're just a dude, then it is just like, so when this goes to court, what will his reasoning, like, what could that reasoning possibly be? To be like, and why do you have a a wireless microphone hidden away in your bathroom? And two, when you do become a solid gold incel, keep in mind that you deserve that. Don't go on a weird killing spree or just seeking revenge on everybody. Seeking revenge on everybody, because I'm over here just trying to be a nice guy. Nobody likes these nice guys. There's all these women out there, all these females out there that are acting like the male species isn't the stronger, better one. I've listened to all of the podcasts and or videos by the what's his face, the Peterson guy, and that other guy who's, you know, under house arrest for trafficking. Exactly, Space Goons. Exactly. They all sound like they're 12. Like, if you've ever watched 4 seconds of what's his face, I can't think of his first name now, but Mr. Tater Tots, that is just like, hey, like, you gotta get to these females before they start having their own ideas, when you can still tell them, you know, that what you think is right and wrong, and teach them how to respect women. Or how to, no, that would be the great thing, would be to respecting women. You gotta teach them how to respect men properly, like it's 1945, when, you know, if they didn't do it, we'd kill them. But we can't do that anymore, so, they're just so, I mean, in my head, I almost said, like, what do they even want? Like, what is your goal in life? But the goal is to control people. It's to be in control. He says as he draws a picture of the king, who realistically shouldn't have any power whatsoever, but yet, hey, you know how everybody else has to pay all kinds of tax money on every bit of money they make? Like, yeah. Well, I just got like millions upon millions of dollars, and I would just like to keep it all? Okay. Like, what happened to all those times that the royals were like, the royals are in trouble, they're running out of money, or they gotta blah blah blah? Like, seems like they still have all the property, they still have all the money. And we are officially at a time in history where we know that all of it's stolen, or it was all grown upon, you know, stealing and just taking over the lives of other people. That's good. That's classic. That's a good classic one. But I assume Tampon Gate, unless there's a new Tampon Gate with King Charles. But I mean, he is the guy who was like, hey, I'm almost 30 years old. Oh, look at this very young teenage girl. I would like to procure her, and then let's make that so, and then make her life a borderline living hell while she's technically the princess of the world and everyone loves her. It's just like, you're a terrible, terrible man. And then, oh hey, here's a fun way to cheat on a lady. I was gonna repeat it. I don't even want to repeat it. But, you know, we all know, and if you don't know, I think, you know, if you know, you know, huh? Stay tuned to the end. Keep watching. If you know, you know. Huh? What if I did, I do want to do that, actually. I want to do, like, a 9-hour video that's just me going, keeps pointing to different text that says, wait till the end. Wait for it. Wait for it. Can you believe this? But nobody's going to actually watch it for the 8 hours. So that it's like, that's me putting in so much time just to be a spiteful jerk. But seriously though, of all the things to say to somebody, hey Camilla, you know what I would love? You know what I would just love? As somebody who's going to be king of England someday, let me just say something. Let me open up a scroll and proclaim something over here. Maybe I should say it? Hey Camilla, you know what I would love? I'd love to just be your tampon. Let me just slide up in there and be the tampon all day long, just absorbing all of that stuff and just everything, just whatever grossness you have, just let me just soak in it and then throw me in the toilet and then or the garbage can. I can't remember if it's flushable or not, but probably not. Anyway, I want to be in your bathroom and your bathroom business. I would like to be the microphone that listens to you pee. I'm the king of England. Yeah, I think that covers it. Like, I don't know. I was at the laundromat on Friday, and there's this old guy, or this, I should just say a guy, but there's this older dude who's like a airplane mechanic or whatever. And I was trying to, that was another instance of, do I know this person? Should I say hello to them? And then he eventually just started talking. And I was like, oh, I remember this guy. He talks about fixing airplanes and stuff. We've already had some of these conversations. And all of them, every sentence starts with a type of car, year, make, and model. No matter what. It's like, oh yeah, I had to head up to Cape Breton once. Mitsubishi, 1945 Mitsubishi. That's not a real, there's no 1945 Mitsubishi. But whatever, a 98 Ford Escalade. I don't know the names of any cars. And then we saw a moose on the road. It's just like, why did you mention the car? Who cares? But a lot of people care, is the fact. But anyway, me and this dude, we're fairly solidly making fun of the monarchy and its, lack of necessity. It's the joke that it is. Except we were just like, but the queen, you know what? It was like, if anybody does deserve to be kind of a rich maniac, the queen does. She put in the work. She did all the things. She does help out people. She created businesses. She did things, and then all these other people around her just absorbed it, like some sort of absorbing thing that, you know, has a little string on it. I can't think of what you would call it at the moment, but Charles would know. Charles in charge of your day and your flow. Because it is, like, she was, as near as I could tell, a fairly amazing person, other than the fact it was like, you really should have been like, guys, my family and this whole thing, this was a big mistake. You know, we got this far. Thanks for not overthrowing us daily and nightly. But yeah, you guys, you countries who want to be your own countries, I'm gonna let you go back to doing that. Like, this is insane. Like, we're literally in the time period of people going, where are our jetpacks? We were supposed to have jetpacks by now. Like, one, thank God we don't, because we definitely can't deal with those. I mean, we just barely have cars that drive themselves, and I don't want cars to be able to drive themselves because they're crazy, and people are already crazy, and all the things are crazy. Some of us are over here actively trying not to be replaced by robots. Thankfully, it's still wildly unethical. But anyway, me and repairman guy are just talking about how dumb the king is and how dumb everything is and how they're just spending all the tax money when it's like, you guys are super rich, people are actively starving over there and everywhere, and you're still like, but the taxpayers are going to pay for this solid gold nonsense. And of course, you get the Stone of Destiny. Somebody go get the Stone of Destiny before you put the crown on my head and make me the fake ruler of nonsense and Wonderland. Get the Stone of Destiny. I still stand by the fact that I should have just gathered the money together, flew over there, got myself a stone, and be like, this is the super stone of better destiny. Therefore, that's my job, and now I'm in charge. Give me the crown, and now melt it down, turn it into money. Let's all let's fix the economy. Let's do something. I don't know. Get somebody who's good at math in there. Oh, man. Stone of Destiny. That was about to take me down another tangent of nonsense, and I already forgot what it is. The king and his nonsense, and that's where we go. Then there's the queen. Oh, yes, so, like, the laundromat guy's got the news on, and that's kind of where, all this King Charles talk is coming from. But then as soon as my airplane mechanic friend leaves, the guy who owns the laundromat, who also just talks to me about stuff all the time, just like, me and this guy were just openly just taking huge, just dumps upon dumps on the monarchy, real good and hard. And he's just like, huh? So what do you think? Like, you gonna be tuning in for the coronation? Just like, I guess if you're gonna act like you didn't hear the things that, you know, there was only 3 of us at the time when I was railing against it, but whatever. You want to act like you didn't hear it? I'll act like I didn't say it. And I was just like, oh, no, I don't know. I was like, I'm definitely not going to watch any of this stuff. I was like, I'll wait till later. I'll wait till the dust settles, and I'll see what the internet says about it, and that's when I will learn about what happens, or what will have happened at the coronation and whatnot. Because, you know, it was bound to be some levels of silliness and nonsense. We got to see the king being all cranky in his solid gold chariot of nonsense. And got to see people getting carted away because, oh, we suspect you're going to be causing trouble here. Like, but I'm not. I'm here for the coronation. Yeah, but we suspect, so you're getting carted away. Somebody carved/burned with chemicals, I assumed, or mowed a big giant wiener in the grounds nearby. I didn't see, you know, I assume they just covered that up somehow or mowed even further. But mostly it just seemed like, well, what this comic is going to be about. Hey, can we dress this? Can we dress all these people up in the most nonsense ever? Just the gaudiest, ugliest, silliest. Oh, of course. Who could be? You have no king. You serve no allegiance, Miles, and that's why you're great. Go forth, kingless, into the night. Be your own king, king. I believe you've dropped this, king. But the images of him and Camilla with, like, I mean, just these big, silly, giant crowns, and then, like, just layers and layers of just disgusting, old-timey looking, you know, monarchy clothes where it's like, I don't know, like, put a suit on, show up, have a normal party? Like, this is all, it's too old-timey. It's too British, for anything, that it's just like the only way any of it makes sense is because it is the Emperor's, not his groove, the Emperor's new clothes, where it's like the opposite of like, ooh, we'll dress you up in nothing, and people will still be like, ooh, but we love you so much and we're so afraid of you. Yes, your outfit is nice. It's just, yeah, the complete opposite. Of we're gonna purposely dress you up. You're gonna purposely dress up like a weirdo, and everyone's so to be like, oh yeah, no, good job at good kingliness, yes. If you had been born unto anyone else other than the queen, you would have been beaten, just within inches of your life, daily and nightly, dodging those harpoons. Will it ever stop? Yo, no, it won't, cause you're a turd. Oh man. Sometimes I just don't realize how much you hate something until you just start. Thinking about the hundreds of thousands of pictures and news items of people just being happy. One of the pieces of audio that I heard over a video was it was something basically it was like, oh, and the king is happy or whatever. The royal family seems to be doing well and they're happy. And if the royal family's happy, then that means good news for everybody. Like, it's not a groundhog. And also, the groundhog thing is a lie and doesn't work as well either. Too, the groundhog thing is also nonsense. Yes, give in to the hate once again. The darkness, let it grow and bind you to the more darkness, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let's go take over something. I know this King Randor, huh? That's a fun name. Just beat that guy up. He's got big muscles though for a king. But anyway, let's go beat up some kings. Let's do some king fighting. No. It's not my jam. Not my jam. Not delete. There we go. Exactly. When your power is based on having done such atrocities, how do you feel good? How do you go to bed at night going, I'm a good king? I do good things. Like, you clearly just make weird demands. But it's kind of... say, it relates to that old philosophy that I had 2 days ago. That is... I think it was Ben posted or reacted to, possibly. A post. Voxney's here, shaking her rear. There's a post that had like, hey, these are some of the CEOs and how much they make. And it was like for McDonald's, like that guy gets like 30 some million a year, and it just keeps going up from there to like 100 some million to like 300 million a year, like in 1 year. And all I can think, the only thing that I can think, is that if you make let's even go crazy. Let's even not even like if you make $30 million a year after 2 years. If after the second year of making $30 million a year, you're not like, well, obviously I'm going to retire now, right? Like there should be thousands upon thousands of CEOs of things, because if you don't retire and just go enjoy your life after making hundreds of millions of dollars, like you could still have $1 million home. You could still put several $1 million into investments, making you millions of dollars year after year without doing anything. If you don't retire and just become the best person after making hundreds of millions of dollars, then you're kind of evil, right? Like, right? Like, I gotta put a question mark, but that it's not necessarily a philosophy because it has too much of a question to it. But if you have more money than you would ever need for your entire life, why aren't you then off enjoying yourself? Like, what more than it is it has to be a power thing, or a whatever. Especially in a world where it isn't like, oh, well, this is like, I've created McDonald's. I want to be there forever. It's just like, yeah, of course, if you did, but you didn't. Even the person who created McDonald's bought it from the person who created McDonald's, so that person barely exists, and/or has been dead for a long time. But exactly, like, why wouldn't you, like Voxney, transition into... And again, I have to assume it is, like, there are a lot of people out there that don't exist with a creative mind frame. Is that a thing? That's not a word. But a creative mindset in any way. They only exist on that base, the reptilian survival logic, where it is just like, I gotta keep doing this or else I'll die, so I get $1 billion, I have to get 50 billion, and then still just be a lunatic. Like, I still have to go back to the whole Elon thing, where it's like, if you really do want to be some kind of inventor and a Twitter troll, like, you're the one person who can 100% afford to just be like, and if you didn't own all the things, you could then, like me, I don't own any of the things, so I get to sit here and complain about things because I'm on this so far on the other side of the spectrum. But the fact that Elon is just like, hey, like, the media, like, is definitely full of lies, don't listen to the media. Like, you own the biggest media thing now. you are 100% the media. You don't get to be an outsider anymore. You are the biggest insider that has ever insided ever, aside from the dreams of King Charles and the thing we talked about before. Gotta be gross. Gotta be gross. Gotta try not to be too morose. Like, for me, if I had millions of dollars, if everything was paid for, like, I'd still be making things. I wouldn't be worried about what anybody thought. I wouldn't be worrying about an audience of any kind, or anything. It would just be straight up, basically like I can't reference anybody because everybody's a creep now, but like a Seth Rogen type of thing where it's just like, hey, I'll get the rights to properties, I'll make all the things I've always wanted to make. I would do that, except I wouldn't be involving a pile of studios. I would just make the thing. And if celebrities did want to get involved, then it's like, all right, you have to come to me and you pay your own ride. Like, because you're all so rich and we're just over here having fun now. I'm not gonna go and get a $300 million investment to build a movie. I would like to, and I mean that's the way I do everything now anyway. Where I'm just like, I'm not going to publishers. I'm not even trying to pitch anything anymore. I'm just making what I want to make, and hopefully, as long as I can keep the robots at bay for as long as humanly possible, then I'll have a job, and then I'll be able to afford to do an Orco painting or whatever for no real reason other than to do it, as opposed to like, well, now you've done 3 of these big giant paintings, and you've got 3 more blank canvases. Finish those and put together, your art show. Do a big art sale, make it all blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no. I just wanted to make the painting. Someday I will put together some way of putting a price tag on them. But beyond that, it's about the doing of things. So what is my purpose then? If my purpose is to wreck those things, to question those things, to antagonize you, to give you a spiteful reason to do the things in spite of me saying you're stupid? Mostly, I don't know. You're just a personification of negative thoughts, and you're also a vessel for which I can use to say vengeful things towards horrible people in the world. You know what? That's a good deal. I will take that deal. If I had monies, I would open a school type place to teach disabled, handicapped kids, teens how to game and help them build a community. To not be afraid in the eyes of a monkey. A heart-filled monkey. Exactly. Like most people have machinations that aren't for the purposes of gaining themselves more power. It's to Captain Planet. The power is yours. This is to give the power. Everyone gets a ring. You get a ring. You get a ring. We all get rings of power. But until we get, I mean, you don't know because I didn't finish the sentence. Or my thought. Until we can get... No, that doesn't make any sense. We all have the Lord of the Rings ring because we're all basically invisible until you become some sort of upper echelon insane politician or celebrity of some kind. But deep down, we all have those things that are like, oh, I wish I could do blank. And 90% of the time, it's something like that, where it's just like, oh, there's somebody in my community that I see all the time. I wish I had the time, the energy, the money, the whatever to help them do this or to teach them do that or to whatever. I'm trying to think. I haven't really gone out and done anything Just like what good deeds or little adventures have I had in the last little while, and not really anything other than like CTK messaged me last night like, I feel so sick and I'm dying. You could do me a favor and take me to the drugstore so I can get medication. And it's like, yeah, of course, that's something I could do. And while I'm here, here, take some juice, take some ginger ale, and let's get you some cans of soup, and let me just pay for this, and away you go. Because it feels good to help people if that's a thing that you want to do. And it also feels good to hate and avoid people. But everybody still needs something to keep them connected to the world, connected to society, that makes you want to do new things. Oh my god. And, oh yeah. I don't know if I can show the painting. But, Voxney, I did notice that. Voxney got a new fridge. Because, again, there are companies out there that they're doing awful things, they're doing good things, and they're trying their best. Like, big companies and people, we're all just communities. But Voxney was like, I love this certain kind of iced tea. I don't like iced tea, so I will never remember what it is. But it's like peach iced tea. And she was like, Dear Lipton, or whichever one, Nestle, Lipton, I loved your tea. I've always loved your tea, and this is my favorite type of tea. Is it ever coming back? ? Whenever I have said, like, hey, dear big giant company, I was wondering about this, they've never gotten back to me. Not ever. Meanwhile, Voxney was just like, I love raspberry white tea, which that sounds great, except for the white tea part. And not only were they like, yeah, it's coming back, you know, we're looking out, or I think it's coming back, but also, here's a fridge. Here's a Lipton iced tea fridge that's, you know, delightful and small and adorable enough to hold a couple of Lipton iced teas next to your streaming area, especially. And I'm just like, that's awesome. Like, that's so awesome. Like things like that. Like, though, that's why I do keep looking at Twitter, is for those little jolts of serotonin. Melatonin. No, melatonin's for sleeping. Serotonin, or the other word, estrogen? No. Riboflavin? Anyway, I'm gonna stick with serotonin. But yeah, it's those things that are like, wow, people are out there, like, they're doing it. They're doing the things that make them feel good, and they're being parts of communities, and the communities are listening in some ways. Dopamine, that's the word I was looking for. Dopamine. Which, same thing. Like, every time I see Brer, formerly Yasmira, whenever I see their posts, it's always just like, hey, we're gonna try to raise some money for this charity. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna try to do some stuff for this. And I still don't have a Kevin yet either. As near as I could tell, I think that the one that Eric has is the only one that exists, and I don't think, like, that's not the final one anyway, so I'm not sure even what they'll exactly look like, because I think the color will change a little bit, and maybe the shape, but I'm starting to think that's the only one. But pretty sure that whenever the next TwitchCon is, they should exist by then. But who knows? I don't even know if the parent company is even fully approved of all this yet. But even that, stuff like that, like, if people don't know, on the Streamlabs stream, instead of talking to Milo, occasionally pops up, I've got Kevin. I don't think I have a Kevin. No, I don't have any Kevins in here. But Kevin, the Streamlabs logo, I have him floating there instead of Milo, and he uses the David Bowie voice because I only have so many voices, and both Voxney and her kids seem to super love Kevin, so much so that last Christmas Voxney kept making parody songs from Christmas songs, you know, saying like, "Hey, when am I gonna get a Kevin plushie? All I want for Christmas is a Kevin plushie this, Kevin plushie that." Until the Streamlabs community within the work, within the place where I work, started saying like, you know, should we do this? Should we find a way to do this? Like, this person has made like literally like at that time like 3 or 4 songs begging us to make a Kevin plushie. Can we at least make one? And not to give anything away, they were like, "Hey Corbin, like you're always like making hats and bags and stuff. Like you got a sewing machine and you're good at this stuff. Can you make one?" And Corbin's like, "No, I don't know how to do that. Like I just barely know how to do this. And also, you know, there were layoffs, so no, I don't have extra time anymore." So there was a point where you might have gotten the only Kevin that would ever have existed, or that would have been the prototype, and then gotten more. But things like that, where it's just like, there's so many just good things and reasons to be part of a community, the internet communities or wherever communities. Like when I used to go to the farmers market to sell things, I loved that. Like that was awesome. Other than, you want me to get up how early on a Saturday? Like, oh, I don't want to ever do this. I would like some special treatment where I come in late and I leave early, and I demand that everyone buy something. He's there to be a jerk. He's there to, trust me, nothing nice will be said in today's comic. So the only real idea I had, well, I have 2 ideas. I'll probably jam them both in there. Which is, one, I want Milo to refer to him as King Prince Charles, instead of just King Charles. And but the main thing is just like, hey, you dressed up like a crazy person so that we have to prove that even if you're dressed like an idiot, that people still worship you or whatever. But I still don't know what the words will be. And even stuff like that, like Shaney B, who's in a different time zone. They would show up occasionally in the Streamlabs stream, and they've showed up in this one. And they were sending me some ideas that a few streams ago, and I'm like, I have no idea. Somebody suggest a word, suggest something, and I'll make a stream out of, or I'll make a comic out of it. And Shane came in with like, here's like, what about this idea? What about that idea? And I'm like, whoa. Like, you just told me you'd like to make your own comics and make your own things. It was like, you take these ideas and you replace me with you. You replace Milo with either one of your pets or with, you know, anything. Pick an animal, pick an inanimate object, pick anything. You don't have to be the main character. It doesn't matter. All you need is 2 characters. You already have ideas. Then just go for it. And I promise you will keep changing styles and whatever for the longest time. But you will eventually start, you know, enjoying your own stuff. Just like Milo hasn't looked like this all the time. Like, he changes pretty much from year to year. And I sent him a link to like the first Milo animation that is like visually so different. Even his voice was different back then, mostly because it was like, I was still very embarrassed at using my own voice for things. So I would do basically the Milo voice, and then I would pitch it up even higher. So it was kind of a more robot-y voice. King of the pigs and swine. But anyway, whenever, you know, as much as I'm just like, come and watch me draw pictures, make me feel special. Whenever somebody else is like, hey, I'm going to draw some comics, like, awesome. Like, that's just, you know, that's the weird, you know, the Grinch's heart grows 5 times or 3 times, however much bigger the Grinch's heart grows. Not because I wanted all of the comics and presents for myself, but, you know, it does feel good to see other people do things. Yes, I'll still always be jealous of everybody and everything they do all the time. But Patton Oswalt said a long, long time ago that one day he realized that all these people that he thought he hated was always, you know, he realized, like, oh, I'm actually just jealous. I just want to do what they're doing. I don't know, you know, I want to have what they have. I want to be part of their world. And if ever I find myself feeling jealous of somebody, it's just like, oh, well, then I should just go do that thing then. Like, you know, even when I'm like, other people, they just, like, sit and play video games all day. Which is like, I don't actually want to sit and play video games all day. I just want to do this for, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. But the option is there. If I feel like streaming some video games, I can just stream some video games. Unfortunately, I've only got 2 USB-C holes on this computer, and you can't really split your USB-C holes and still use them as USB-C holes for high-capacity stuff anyway. So, the camera is now a USB-C, and I think that looks real good. I like that camera. And my drawing tablet is USB-C, so that's pretty much it. We're at a loss. But the game capture, the Elgato, whatever, is also USB-C. So in order to use that, I've got to use a different camera. I don't have to frantically move things around. Or, since who really cares a lot of the times? If you can see somebody's face while they're playing games. But I usually just have the 8-bit me and Milo for the gaming streams whenever I do that. Does that work though? What kind of hub? Every time I look up a hub, it always says like, "Hey, you get one pass-through USB-C, and then here are some other ones, but they're basically cranked down to regular USB-B or whatever." Power. Because I've tried, like, you know, well, to run my tablet, it needs HD and USB-C. So I've got, you know, a port dealie that comes out, and it has a USB, a USB-C, and an HD. So those both go through there. But, is there 2 USB-Cs? However it works, like, the second USB-C can basically just be used for, like, powering something or something that doesn't take any real bandwidth. But, like, yeah, the camera and the tablet, they're just like, I gotta be directly plugged in or nothing. And I'm like, well, I'm not buying another new camera, or another new computer. But I did keep looking for hubs. And I'm just like, I have no idea. Because even like these like $300 hubs and whatnot, they're like still seem to see it have the same thing where they usually say one of the ports is the high power. Yeah, basically that. Yeah, because my Elgato, like, yeah, that's what it was. I tried to have the Elgato plugged in to the same USB dongle that the drawing tablet's plugged into, and it's just like, no, idiot. And I'm like, why? I was like, well, this is only half the power. Because realistically, because also I'm not on a PC as well, so like at a PC I could, you could pull some things out and extend stuff a little easier. But in the Mac world, I'm just kind of stuck with where I am. Because I wanted to ideally go back to having 2 cameras so I can click back and forth and look around. Because I really liked having the multi-camera thing. But in order to do that, then no drawing tablet, it's just cameras. But if I ever do decide, like I keep deciding to just do some sort of just a talking show or something that's not necessarily drawing, or if I do something drawing on paper and then I can still have like 3 cameras, then just one of them would be different anyway. Groceries are here. I don't know why I try to just draw things straight ahead without some sort of rough. At least the little rough doodle doesn't look like anything I've ever drawn. There, that's a little more like something I would draw. Cheating at drawing, cheating at drawing. It's okay, 'cause robots do it too. There. All I have to do is come up with cromulent words to make it make sense. Oh man. It is not. Going to my photos, send me something so... Nope, send something to myself. Gee, I've gotta go to school. Then I turn around and see, wait, someone's smiling right at me. Someone's talking to me, hey. What? What do you mean canceled? What is going on? All right. Sent myself the same thing twice for some reason. Pause. And Space Goatie's always seen this, has already seen this. But... For anybody who hasn't been following on Instagram... Stop playing. Hold on. This is the Orko painting. This is the Orko painting that I finished this weekend finally. And, oh, go back to the beginning. And the story of this is as follows. It was like, I really want to get this thing done. But first, I've got to do laundry. So I did the laundry on like Friday, right after work, did that. And then Saturday morning, most of the laundry's already put away. I was like, still got to put the socks away. Can't put the socks away until I match all the socks. And I can't do that until the bed is made so that I can spread out all the socks on the bed and pair them all together. Because the sock drawer is already full of a bunch of just unmatched socks. So I'm going to have to pull them out of there. But then if I'm going to make the bed, I might as well change the sheets. Once I pull the sheets off the bed... Well, if the sheets are off the bed, then I might as well vacuum the mattress, right? And if you don't vacuum your mattress, you don't think about the things that would cause you to need to have to vacuum your mattress. So I vacuum the mattress. Then finally, get some sheets put on it. As I'm going back and forth between the kitchen, then I'm like, well, now I'm in the kitchen. Might as well replace the paper towel onto the paper towel roll because that's empty. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well take out the garbage and check to see if the cardboard recycling needs to go out as well. But it doesn't, so that's fine. Put the paper towel roll in the recycling, take the garbage outside. Halfway down the stairs, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I even made it out of the kitchen because of the garbage and the paper towel situation. Because there's a full rack of clean dishes, because I did manage to do the dishes the night before as well, that I didn't put away. How did I get that far? Now that's in my head. I still haven't paired up the socks, and all of this was just to get to the level of if I just put away the laundry, then I can go work on the painting. But now some floor space is cleared here, now the vacuum cleaner is out. And if the vacuum cleaner is out, then I should vacuum the floor as well. But now there's still some laundry, so I got to finish putting that stuff away and then vacuum some areas. But then I can't vacuum here, because there's a painting and all the stuff is there, but I really want to clean up that area. So I end up like vacuuming out the couch and living room and whatnot. And then I forget, but whatever. A whole series of just cleaning things, which we all know is just a little bit of procrastination, so that I don't ruin or frustrate myself trying to be creative and working on a painting. Then it's just like I can't really get tidying up wrong. Because even if it isn't super the tidiest in the world, who cares? But then I keep forgetting that, like, okay, this was my plan. Put a bit of paint on the canvas while that dries, go do another cleaning chore, and go back and forth. And that's how I will crown myself the king of Saturday. And I eventually managed to get into that mode, but it took so many just weird things where I'm just like, once I started like calculating the number of things that I've done that aren't painting the picture, I was just like, this is bananas. There wasn't that much left to finish on the painting, so I finally sat down and did a little bit of blending and adjusting things here and there. There's still like easily, like 12 other things I'd like to do, but I'm like, who cares? Who cares? This is just supposed to be for fun. It's literally just going up against a wall. There's no even space to put it on a wall anywhere. So who cares? Painting super fast. Got an Orco on the shelf and one on the iPad. And there's a camera to the... I can't keep track of the song. A camera to the right that I only use for stop motion. But all my stop motion is behind this canvas that's taking over my office. And then I wanna die, 'cause it's a mess. And there's stuff here and stuff over there, and I want it to disappear. Hey, man. And that's how that ended. So in the end, I was happy with it, but I'm trying to control it from the wrong window. Boop. But yeah, a bunch of it, like, I was just, every time I'd sat down, I was like, and record, and that also makes me a little more anxious, where I'm like, if I just sat down and painted, I would just sit down and paint, but because I want to record a time lapse, it adds the extra little bit of pressure that is, somebody technically is watching me paint this now, even though it's time lapsed and super fast and you can't really see anything. It still is just like, oh, I could be judged. But so many times I was like painting. I'm like, oh, this is a good run. There's going to be lots in this time lapse. Then go back to my phone, which is on the tripod just over, a few feet away, and it's just off. And I'm like, I definitely hit record. I looked at you. I made sure you were recording, and for some reason it just stopped and didn't record anything. And it did that a bunch of times where I'm like, ah! And I was like, finally, towards the end, it was like, all right, there's enough here to still cut together. And the part where I paint the background in just fully black before I start adding in the weird, whatever that is, mucus webbing in the background, there's the slow process of painting it all in black to do an initial black layer in behind, and that I recorded in real time. If anything, it seemed like it was recorded in slow motion. It was just like, what is going on here? All these sequences are like 10 seconds long, like maybe 20 seconds long. It's like, is this one 20 minutes long? And then I was like actually looking at it and I'm like, oh, this is me just very slowly painting all of this in black. Like, oh, of all of the things to have really recorded, it's the least painty artistic part of the whole thing. And was mildly devastated. But of course, again, in the end, I'm just like, it doesn't matter. This is still just for fun and nonsense. The next one I think I'll do is probably the Adam West Batman figure. The Adam West action figure, or Batman action figure. Because all of these are still, although I'm not doing like photorealistic paintings of the toys, I still, for some reason, want them to the initial basis to be on toys. So for the last three um, canvases, they'll still be toys from around my. Well, all the toys are in this room, but mostly still trying to be 80s, 90s references, childhood type things, and then I don't know, I'll either find a venue within town and be like, hey, you're doing an art show and we're putting this on the wall and here are the prices, or I'll finally just take the time and make a web page with prices and or some video or just images to be like, here's the art show, and if you want to own these, it will cost all the money. They will not be in frames. That's your cost. And if you're outside of the city and you buy it, then I'm also going to take it off the stretcher and just roll it up. Then it's your job to also get a new stretcher, or maybe I'll take those apart and be like, here you go, figure out how to put that together. You're welcome. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I felt pretty good and productive Saturday, and then Sunday I managed to basically sleep all day and think like, all right, I just want to do one more little thing, just one more little poke of paint, and then just throw that video together on my phone real quick. And then all of a sudden it was like 6 o'clock, and I'm like, thought it was early in the afternoon. I've literally just been watching YouTubes for hours and hours, thinking, all right, I'll just watch one more. It's only like 5 minutes. It's only 10 minutes. It's only 20 minutes. And just like, and it has been several hours. So at least I managed to get something done Saturday. And this is almost something. If I could bring myself to add dialogue to all of the comic strips that I have in this file that do not yet have dialogue, then we'll be so much closer to putting together some sort of book of mostly outdated comic strips about things that have happened a long time ago. A long, long time ago. But anyway, that has been, I was going to say, that has been podcast. That has been today's Tuesday art stream. If you're watching this later, or you're new, or you don't know what's going on, if you swing by the Streamlabs live stream on Friday afternoon my time, it's at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Yes, at 1 o'clock Eastern time. There's always a Twitter post that says, hey, suggest your ideas, and then I do my best to draw as many either emotes or logos or whatever that people suggest within the afternoon. It's usually between 2 and 3. I think one day I got up to 4 in the course of 3 hours, and then those are just sent out absolutely free for people to use and to have and to hold, to sell as merchandise. I don't care what you do with it, but it's just, the Streamlabs gift to the world, and a gift to me because I get to have fun with it, and I get to not care whether or not people like what they get. But so far, everybody's been super happy. But anyway, that's the Friday stream, and Tuesday streams are myself, Mr. Cartooning on the Mr. Cartoons page. And of course, there's a MrCartoons.com, where there is a book of comic strippings of me and Milo, and some poetry books and some other stuff. I genuinely forget what else is there, but all of the links and whatnot are there. And one of these days, I'll check in on my own website and update it with some stuff. But I'd like to say I'm lazy, but I'm just too exhausted from doing my job all the time. But that is all. Thanks for hanging out. Always awesome to talk at Space Goonie and Pat, because, I used to physically talk at Space Goonie and Pat all the time. And, of course, all the new people like the Voxneys and Scarlet Solaces and whatnot. And, of course, Miles. I think I've known you longer than everybody here. No. I knew Pat and Jenny before I knew you, because I worked with Pat, and then I had a breakdown and quit that job, and then I immediately got hired to do the job that was being your teacher. Instructor? weird guy at the front of the class who encouraged people to go animate stuff and not listening to things. Anyway, thanks again. Always super fun. Always interesting. What about me? Am I super fun and super interesting? Not at all. You're the worst and you're annoying. As long as I create an impact on the world, that means I'm winning, and I'm a winner. Therefore, I've won yet another live stream. Congratulations to me. You're the worst, and I hate you. Let the hate well up. Yeah, just like the Emperor. We need an Emperor action figure that I can, talk to in stop motion. Do that. Get one of those. No. Anyway, thanks a lot. Talking to you guys next week, and or see you on Friday, depending on your connection to the streaming community. The music stopped, Ripley. The music stopped. You don't even care. Meow, 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 meow. No, that was awful. You're no Celine Dion. Just play the outro. Just play the outro, and everybody have a good. Oh yeah, and Susan and Colin hanging out, making miniature things. Oh man, if you guys haven't, also just go follow Nasus Miniatures on Instagram. It's always amazing things. And Susan's always traveling and going to these miniature conventions and seeing these super cool things. She just made an arcade that I'm like the floor alone is amazing. Just the texture and the dirtiness of the tiled floor, and then she's made the arcade cabinets. Just amazing stuff. Always amazing. But anyway, if you want to feel impressed, if you want to be like, that does impress me much. Go follow Nasus Miniatures on the Instagram and wherever else you follow things. But that's it for me, Ripley. I swear to fun. The text read about. Oh, she's on YouTube. You probably can't see it. NASUS MINIATURES. Part of me wanted to try to change that to the Mickey Mouse theme. NASUSMINIATURES. Wherever you don't want some distress, because Space Cooney is also into miniature stuff. So go ahead and follow each other, Space Cooney 42 and Nasus Miniatures, and you will see some delightful miniature things. That is all that I know about things. Meow, 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 meow. Yes, Ripley, we're all done. That's enough. Everybody, go to sleep and have a good night. Oh my God, it's only Tuesday. Oh God, it's only Tuesday. But Wednesday is practically the end of the week. So, outro, Ripley. Outro. Got something that's normal size, shrink it down. Then you're in Nasus Miniatures town. What? Hey.